At 29, I never thought success would taste like revenge, until it did. I'm Ava, and for most of my life, my older sister Haley treated me like I was beneath her. She mocked my career, my clothes, even my voice. At family dinners, she joked about how I'd never make it. But the moment she laughed at me at her firm's biggest networking event, everything shifted. I didn't need to say a word. Her boss did it for me, with just 4 words, "That's our CEO." Want to hear how sweet karma can be? Hit that subscribe button for more powerful true stories. I grew up in Haley's shadow. She was the straight-A student, the prom queen, the girl who got a full scholarship to an Ivy League school. I, on the other hand, was the creative one. I doodled in the margins of my math books, loved sketching logos and writing product ideas in a little notebook I kept hidden under my bed. But to Haley, I was just the weird little sister who'd never do anything real. "You'll be the CEO of your coloring book," she once told me, laughing in front of her friends. I was 13. I still remember the sting. Our parents never really said anything about it. Haley was the responsible one. I was the dreamer. And dreamers, they assumed, needed protection or supervision, not respect. When Haley graduated with a degree in finance and landed a job at one of the top consulting firms in the country, the family practically threw a parade. I, meanwhile, dropped out of college after 2 years. I didn't want to waste time in lectures that bored me. I wanted to build something. My own thing. So, I started small. Freelance graphic design. Logo work. Branding. I learned about startups, pitch decks, product market fit. I failed, more times than I can count. I maxed out credit cards, borrowed from friends, even lived in my car for 2 weeks. But I kept going. And then, one day, it happened. A pitch I made for a digital wellness platform landed an angel investor. Within 6 months, we had our MVP. 2 years later, we had traction, millions of users. Investors noticed. Suddenly, I wasn't a dropout. I was a founder. Then, I became a CEO. But I didn't tell anyone in my family. Not even Haley. It wasn't out of spite. I just didn't need their validation anymore. Fast forward to last year. Haley invited me to a casual networking mixer her firm was hosting at a high-end hotel downtown. I figured I'd show up, smile, support her, and maybe sneak away after an hour. But that wasn't what happened. I walked in wearing a simple navy dress and flats. No makeup. Hair in a bun. Just me. I guess I didn't exactly scream executive presence, because when Haley saw me, her smile immediately twisted into something else. "Oh, wow. You actually came," she said, sipping her champagne. "Did you get lost, or are you here delivering something?" I blinked. "What?" She laughed. "Relax, I'm just kidding. Come on, let's get you some food. You like sliders, right?" That was her way. She weaponized casual cruelty. The kind people could laugh off as just joking. But I'd seen this act too many times. Still, I didn't bite. She introduced me to a few people as my little sister Ava. She's in between things right now. That part stung more than I expected. I stayed quiet. Smiled. Nodded. Then came the moment. A tall, silver-haired man approached us with a woman in a sharp red blazer. Haley straightened up immediately. "Mr. Rowan, this is my sister Ava," she said, in her best I'm important to voice. She's doing some freelance stuff these days. Doodles and design or whatever." Mr. Rowan blinked at me. "Ava? Ava Bennett?" I nodded cautiously. He turned to the woman beside him. "Kara, this is her. The CEO of Bloomwell. The app I was telling you about, the one we've been trying to set a meeting with for 2 months." Haley's wine glass tilted slightly in her hand. Her smile froze. "Wait." Mr. Rowan extended his hand. "It's an honor to meet you. Your product's growth trajectory is one of the cleanest I've ever seen. We'd love to discuss a potential acquisition." I smiled, politely. "Of course. We've been fielding some offers." Kara chimed in. "You were a ghost. No LinkedIn presence. No press interviews. Our team thought you were a pseudonym." "Nope," I said. "Just private." Then came the silence. Haley stared at me like I'd grown a second head. "Wait, you're the CEO?" she whispered. I looked at her and smiled gently. "That's what the business cards say." The next 20 minutes were a blur. Mr. Rowan and Kara asked if I'd like to speak to the room, share a few insights. I agreed, mostly to spare Haley the agony of trying to explain her earlier comments. As I stepped up to the mic, I saw Haley, now tucked into a corner with her wine and her confusion. I didn't mention her name. I didn't mention the years of mockery. I just talked about perseverance. Grit. Building when no one believes in you. And then, I left. The next day, Haley texted me. Greater than why didn't you tell me? I didn't reply right away. I let her sit in it. A week later, I got a message from one of her colleagues. She'd been placed on probation for misrepresenting her network and making internal mockery of a potential acquisition partner. Apparently, someone had overheard her jokes. I should have felt vindicated. Maybe I did. A little. But I wasn't done. Months later, after careful consideration, we did move forward with an acquisition offer. Her firm was absorbed into ours under a new corporate umbrella. And guess who applied for a position in our strategy and ops department? Haley. My team sent me her resume, not knowing the connection. But when they asked if I wanted to screen her myself, I said yes. She walked into the conference room in a navy suit, her portfolio in hand. The moment she saw me sitting at the table, she paused. I gestured to the seat. Hi, Haley. Please, sit. She lowered herself cautiously. I didn't know you'd be here. I nodded. Most people don't expect to meet their CEO twice. Silence. She swallowed. Ava, I'm sorry. For before. For a lot of things. I know, I said. And I've moved past it. But I do have one question. Anything. If you work here, can you work under someone you used to mock? Her face reddened. I was awful. And if you give me the chance, I'll prove I can. I leaned back. You'll start in junior strategy. You learn your stripes. I won't offer favors. But I won't hold grudges either. That's not how I lead. She nodded, almost tearfully. Thank you. Today, Haley works 3 floors below me. She's good at what she does. Quiet. Focused. And more respectful than I've ever seen her. We don't talk about the past. We don't need to. Because revenge isn't always about destruction. Sometimes, it's about rising high enough that the people who doubted you have no choice but to look up. And in that moment, when they finally see you for who you are. That's revenge. The quiet kind. The lasting kind. The kind that doesn't just burn bridges. It builds empires.